Hello and welcome to Election Special on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki. The Anambra State election is on the way, and as voting continues across the state, several civil society organizations are on ground observing the process to ensure transparency and credibility. Now, one of such organizations is the Kimpa Development Initiative, known for promoting democratic accountability through data-driven election monitoring. And joining me now is Umar Muhammed is a senior program manager at KDI, who is currently in Anambra and monitoring the election with their team and also the situation room. Thank you for joining us, Umar. All right. First of all, can you tell us what Kimpa Development Initiative is currently doing in Anambra State, and how are you monitoring the election?
Yeah, thank you very much. Just as you have earlier mentioned, Impact Development Initiative is a non-governmental organization that is focused on credible election. We have deployed long-time observer for this election, gathering data since April this year. Because the methodology we use, which is the election security risk assessment methodology, is a long-term security risk assessment tool that gathers data during the pre-election period. And what we do with this data is to assess the pre-election period and come up with, predictions and even focus as regard what may likely happen on election day, because it is our belief that whatever happens during the pre-election period will culminate into, some of the realities we see on election day. So, this data we engage election stakeholders with, so that they can also see, what is happening on the ground and counter, whatever the situation will be as we move closer to the election. Our hotspot mapping is in our Ezra report, which we released, and we have shared with election stakeholders. Currently, we are in the situation room, monitoring what is happening on ground to see how election stakeholders have used this data that we've gathered during the pre-election period to mitigate whatever challenge that may likely come up today in this election. And we are getting data from the field. We have so far deployed over 400 observers. As at this morning, 8 a.m., we have gotten 710 reports, from the polling unit, and they are still trickling as we speak right now. We've seen early arrival, from the polling units by the INEC officials. From the data we've gotten from 7 a.m. up till 8 a.m. this morning, we've seen, early arrival by INEC official. However, local government like Obaru local government, we saw late, commencement of polls in those places, and we are currently following up to see, to understand what was the challenge, as regard late commencement in that polling unit. These are some of the things that we are seeing currently, and we are following up on.
Okay, so what's the general mood like? Is it tensed, peaceful? What's it like so far?
Yeah, the atmosphere currently is calm. Pocket of violence reports here and there, and this violence, two of the three violence reports that we've gotten so far, two has to do with a ballot box snatching, which security agencies intercepted, and they were able to collect, the ballot box. That disrupted polls for some time, at that location. They've so far returned, back to voting. But generally, from what we are seeing, the situation is calm. Voters are coming out to exercise their franchise.
So how will you describe the voter turnout, especially when you compare it to the last governorship election?
Yeah, stakeholders across border have always had, cause for concern as regard that in the last governorship election, the turnout was 10%. For whatever reason, even the political class who are also campaigning and like that we've seen over time, that are beneficiary for low voter turnout are. It is too early to make that call now because we still have up to 2 p.m. For voters to come out and exercise their franchise. But we are seeing people their franchise. But we are seeing people with
assessment of security, maintaining anyway.
Yeah, so interfere. You know, some of we learned full of